Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the update for today, which was Thursday, May the 28th of this year, 2026. Coming from my garage this evening and actually using a slightly quieter tone of voice than normal, simply because I do not trust that these walls around me are not paper thin, and I have no idea just how well I can be heard by the unit next door right on the other side of that wall. And I know the way these places are laid out that basically in front of the other side of that wall on that side is like basically somebody's living room. So, yeah. Um, Thank you for understanding if I'm not in my normal broadcaster sounding voice. Please and thank you. All right. So, this morning I went to the gym and actually did another pre-work workout. And these tend to be absolutely awesome. And today it was. So, excellent. Got me in a good, spirited, energetic frame of mind before I head in for a day at the store. It's fantastic. And unlike the other day, I didn't have any frantic, have to go home and get jeans that weren't ripped episode prior to coming to work. So, go me on that one. So, I did work a 10 to 7 shift at the store. All right. Now, before I go any further, do need to let you guys all know about the most unbelievable thing that happened at work today. This is something that I have heard about. There are legends spoken of it. I know there was a time in, I think it was 2018, and then I think there was one in like 2021, but I'm not 100% sure that one was confirmed, but today there was one. What was this, I ask? Or what was this, you ask? Well, my friends, today in our checkout department at work, every single scheduled employee showed up. Yeah. As a result, today was a very pleasant day at the store. Wasn't like a holiday or anything to that effect. Typical business, and everybody that we were allotted to run said business arrived today. It was a splendid day. So, I've kind of looked at this calendar type of thing that I have on the wall. We're due for the next one in 2031. So when that happens, I'll let you know exactly what day that it occurs. All right. So something that frequently happens for me on Thursday specifically is a concept that in retail we call turn and burn. Or at least that's the term that I was given for this when I was growing up. But there are several other, clopening being another one, although it doesn't typically apply here or exactly apply to this circumstance. But this is the theory, the phenomena where you have basically the minimal allowable time between shifts or less. Now, at the company that I work for, and again, this is big corporate retail. They do have what they call a 10-hour rule, where you need to have at least 10 hours between shifts. And I am much appreciative of that rule. How some of the kids, well, I was one at one point, some of the kids that can, pull off 5 hours between shifts and like it's nothing. Well, I'm appreciative for the 10-hour rule. And if the 10-hour rule is violated, then it's overtime within the 10 hours. That being said, I frequently get accounting office on Friday mornings, which is 5 a.m. And happens with somewhat regularity that I will get like 10 to 7 on a Thursday. And 10 to 7 leads right up to the 10-hour limit before 5 a.m. accounting. See how the system works? Anyway, so I had that combination again today. And I don't particularly mind it. Like I said, it was a good day for, because, what was that miracle I mentioned again? Because of that. It was a pleasant day, and I got out on time. Again, what was the miracle? Oh, yeah, that. So, for that reason, like I said, it was a good day. Oh, and also, in addition to the miracle happening, we also had a trainee for self-checkout. I was scheduled as a cashier, although I ended up getting bounced from self-checkout to bagging, which is where I enjoy being the most, to cashier and back and forth. But again, overall, a very pleasant day. And like I said, the turn and burn here. And the fun thing about having a turn and burn on a Thursday, at least for me, is that it's also garbage night. And on garbage night, basically, empty all the trash cans into the big one and then take that out. And on garbage night, I actually end up here in the garage. And this is the first time I filmed from here. And I'm doing that tonight on garbage night for that exact reason. Basically, what I end up doing is I end up taking the trash that I've collected from all the other rooms, moving it down into here, into that trash can right over here, and loading it into there. And if it's not all the way full, then basically I look around in here for other stuff to keep throwing in there to top it off. I've mentioned that starting in March, started this little downsizing thing where I am going and basically putting something more in there every week, or basically making sure that thing is full every week, which, slowly whittles down some of the stuff in here. This particular week, ended up getting rid of a bit of old clothing, a couple of long sleeve shirts that I hadn't worn in years. They're brown, that I thought were kind of hideous. A pretend crown that I have for goodness knows what reason. Let's see. A random piece of wood. And like a cardboard pegboard thing that had a diagram of the United States that had never been used, and was crumbling anyway. Yeah. So, and so that's what happens, and then that gets wheeled out along with the recyclables that then somebody will come and steal within about 30 minutes of my taking them out. So that's basically what's going on there, and oh yes, and there were slacks from in there, from some of the earliest slacks that I had, from before I realized that tacos were a thing, and I'm not too far from that size now, but anyway, but giving up those out too. Let's see, then, and so that's kind of it. But because that always ends up being on a turn and burn, then it ends up being kind of a short night, because that process takes a little bit, and then of course I'm filming right now. As a matter of fact, it's 10:01 as I'm filming. I get up at somewhere between 3:30 and 4, typically before an accounting day, so got that going on. And so down here in the garage, and I have about 30 seconds left. These are the furnishings that I've taken away from the room upstairs that we're getting the inherited furniture for. These blue bags are basically stuff that I've been loading up from other rooms to take down here for possible moving to a storage facility or whatnot. And so this is where those things kind of end up until the next part of this sorting process begins. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining me all the way to the end, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Ciao for now.